Welcome students in today's lecture, and in this lecture we will discuss many important topics of chemistry. And in this lecture we will discuss what is physical and chemical change. You should already know the what is physical and chemical change. So physical and chemical change. Physical and chemical change. First we take some examples of physical and chemical change, then can understand the concept very well. So the examples are, the physical changes examples are freezing of water, freezing of water. First example, freezing of water. Next example is melting of water, melting of water. Another example may be boiling of water, boiling of water, boiling of water. And what are the example of chemical change? Examples of another example you can say you can take melting of wax, melting of wax. And the chemical changes examples are, we can say the burning of coal, burning of coal. These are the examples of chemical change. Another chemical change example may be formation of curd, formation of curd from milk, from milk. Another example of chemical change may be rusting of iron, rusting of iron. And digestion of food, digestion of food, and etc. Many examples. So students, what I seeing here, we see in physical and chemical change that the freezing of water, melting of water, boiling of water, melting of wax, and here burning of coal, formation of curd from milk, rusting of iron, digestion of food. I think you clearly watch the differences between the physical change and chemical change. What are the differences? We will study here. So in freezing of water, boiling, melting of water, here you see here only state is changing, state is changing, only state is changing. Freezing of water, water, after freezing water, what will become? After freezing water, what will become? Ice. But water will also, the chemical formula of water will be H2O, and ice formula will also be H2O. But the state change, this state is liquid and this state is solid. In chemical change, we see that only physical state is changing, only physical state is changing. What? Taste of water will change? No. Only cool and hotness will observe. Nothing taste of water will be changed in freezing. In melting of water you can say melting of ice will be more good. What will happen in melting of ice? State will also change. It will. We see if ice change into water, then state changing. State is changing. What will happen? One important process is coming here. We will explain after some time. And here, what is seen here? Here, burning here, formation of curd from milk. Formation of curd from milk. If once curd formed from the milk, then it is possible to gain milk from curd? No. Is it possible to gain milk from curd? No. If that mean physical changes are reversible. Physical changes are reversible. But chemical changes are not reversible. This is the very important property between these two. First characteristic. We observe here, we can get water from ice from water. If once we change ice from water, then we also can get water from ice. But if I change curd from milk, then if once curd formed, then we couldn't get the milk from curd. So this is the physical change, this is the chemical change. Physical change is reversible because the reactant can be obtained, but the chemical change is not reversible. Another property of the chemical change and physical change, in physical change, no new substance is formed. No new substance is formed. But in chemical change, new substance is formed. In physical change, no new substance is formed, but in chemical change, new substance is formed. What happened in physical change? When a substance undergoes a physical change, its composition remains same. Its composition of molecules remains same despite its molecule rearranged. In spite of its molecule rearranged. In physical change, no new substance is formed, but when a substance undergoes a physical change, then its composition remains same, but the molecule's arrangement changes. And and in chemical change, molecular composition changes, and it forms new substances. In chemical change, new substances is formed, but in physical change, no new substance is formed. Only the state is changing, only the physical state is changing. But in chemical change, new substance is formed, and we get the new substances. And what happens in physical change and chemical change now? Physical change affects only the physical property of the substance. Physical property means size, shape, height, length. These are the physical properties. So in chemical temperature, in physical changes, only physical property changes. But in chemical changes, its composition changes, its rearrangement of atoms changes, its rearrangement of molecules can be changes. So these are the differences between physical properties and chemical changes. Now, in physical change, there no production of energy. In physical change, there is no production of energy. But in chemical change, there may be the production of energy. It will evolve gases. It will create new products. So these are the differences between physical change and chemical change. And physical change absorbs very little or very small amount of energy required to occur the physical change, and chemical change required a huge amount of energy, huge amount of heat to occur the chemical changes. So these are the changes of physical and chemical changes. So we come to the topic that what are chemical reactions. After understanding the physical change and chemical change, we come to the topic what are chemical reactions. So you already know the physical change and chemical change. Physical change, only state changes, no new substance is formed, only the molecular rearrangement changed. Physical changes are not reversible, but in chemical change, new substance is formed. The composition of the reactants change completely, and new substance is formed. And chemical change is not reversible. It's not reversible. And what are the chemical reactions? Now come the topic. What are the chemical reactions? Chemical reactions. Chemical reactions involve chemical changes. Chemical reactions. What are chemical reactions? So, chemical reaction involves chemical changes, or you can say it involves chemical changes. We have just studied what are the chemical changes, and in chemical reactions it will involve chemical changes. Chemical reactions are the process in which new substance with new properties are formed. Chemical reactions are the process in which new substances with new properties are formed. During a chemical reaction, a rearrangement of atoms take place, but reacting substances to form new products, to form new substances. And chemical reactions, what happens in chemical reactions? So you can say in chemical reactions, new substance are formed, means product. Products are formed. What happens in chemical changes? What happens that new products are formed? What changes occurred that new products are formed? Why new products are formed? Why new substances are formed? The question arises now. Yes. So in chemical changes, old bonds between the compounds breaks. In chemical changes, old bonds between the reactants, breaks, and new bonds are formed. In chemical reactions, old bonds of reactants breaks and new bonds formed. Means the attraction, the attachment will change definitely, the structure will change definitely. So in chemical reactions, old bonds of reactants will be breaked and new bonds will be formed in chemical reactions. So we will take one example of chemical reaction. So when magnesium remain once with air, then it forms magnesium oxide. So what happens in chemical reaction? We take an example of chemical reaction. Example is magnesium is burning in air and forming magnesium oxide. So what are the reactants? These are the reactants. These are the reactants. Students, you should know in a chemical reaction what are the reactants, what are the product. So you should already know that in this reaction, this is a chemical reaction. In this reaction, magnesium and air are reactants. Magnesium, the substances which undergo in chemical reaction, which undergo chemical reaction are called reactants. And the substance which formed is called product. I think you understood what are the reactants and what are the products in a chemical reaction. So we have taken an example of chemical reaction. In this example, magnesium ribbon is burning with air and magnesium oxide is formed. And in this chemical reaction, magnesium ribbon and air is reactants because they are undergoing in chemical reaction, and magnesium oxide is a product which is formed new substance. You can say reactants are the old substances which are participating. Old substances. Old means participating before the reaction. Old substances. Old means the substances before the reaction, and you can say product are new substances. New substances means after the chemical reaction the product is formed. After the chemical reaction those substances are formed are called new substances. So this is the chemical equation in word form. This is the chemical equation in word form, but the chemical equations are representing in molecular formulas form, symbols form. This only the words form. This chemical reaction is only in words form, but we'll have to write the chemical equation in equation form, in symbols form. How can we write? Now see, suppose Mg, magnesium, Mg. Symbol of magnesium is Mg. Air. What is the symbol of air? First we understand which helps in burning, which helps in lighting, which helps. You already know oxygen helps in burning, oxygen helps in producing lighting. So air means magnesium is reacting with oxygen of air. Magnesium is reacting with oxygen of air, and forming magnesium oxide. Now we will erase something because in the bottom you can't, I think you will not be able to watch. So we will erase now something. Yes, this equation we will write here. I think you will be able or not, I couldn't saying because the camera is set some far away. So magnesium is reacting with the atmospheric oxygen, and get magnesium oxide, So these are the reactants. What are the reactants? Which undergoes in chemical reaction, and this is product, And I think you know that we balance a chemical equation. And the question arises why. We will further study why we balance a chemical equation. Here the motive is to understand the what are the chemical reactions. So these are the chemical reactions. But I will balance it, and I will also give the answer why we balance a chemical equation. According to the law of conservation of mass, a matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. Who says? According to law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass says matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. But here these are the reactants, means these amount undergoing in chemical reaction, these amount of reactants undergoing chemical reaction. So the product, the formed reaction, the new substances which are forming from these substances should be same amount, should be same amount, should be same amount. Means if you take 10 gram magnesium, suppose, and 10 gram oxygen, suppose, and you should get the 20 gram. 20 gram means 10 plus 10 should get the 20 gram. But chemical equations are not measured in gram. Chemical equations are not measured in gram. So this type of representation will be not correct. This type of representation will be wrong, will be incorrect. So what type of representation should be correct? Let's see. So here, in the chemical reactions are balanced in the form of moles, forms of atoms, forms of molecules. So here, let's see. One magnesium is participating, and here we gain one magnesium. This is correct, no problem at all. And here two oxygen atoms are undergoing in the reaction, but we get only one oxygen. It is not fair, it is wrong. If we putting two oxygen atoms, then we should get two oxygen atoms, but we are taking two oxygen atoms and gaining only one oxygen atoms. So this is why we will have to balance this equation. So now we will multiply by 2 the whole compound, and if we multiply by 2, here one element is balanced, but the another element, magnesium, is unbalanced now. One element is balanced, but the another element unbalanced. No problem at all. We will balance another element too. Now, what should I do to balance the equation? For balancing the equation, we will have to multiply by 2, and now the whole equation, chemical equation, is balanced. So this is chemical reaction, and this is chemical equation. This is chemical equation. I think you understood both the things. So in this lecture, you understood what are the physical changes, what are the chemical changes, what are the chemical reactions, what are the chemical equations. So here you can see why we balance a chemical equation. I think these doubts, these topics will be cleared. And so this is the chemical equation. This is the chemical equation, and this is the balanced chemical equation. If the equation is not balanced, then that equation is called skeleton equation, not balanced equation, skeleton equation. But here the balanced equation, so this is the chemical equation, balanced chemical equation. And this is the chemical reaction. This is the chemical reaction. In chemical reaction, we get the information that what are the reactants, what are the product, which reactants are undergoing, and which product we get after the chemical reaction. So, and one thing you should also understand, in this reaction, when practically we do this reaction in the laboratory, then what should be precautions we take? When we burn magnesium ribbon with oxygen, then dazzling light appears. Dazzling light. Dazzling means very bright light, and it can affect our eyes too. So while conducting this experiment, we should be careful, and we should do this experiment as far away as from our eyes. We should this experiment as far away as from our eyes, because it is dangerous, it is harmful, it can be harmful to our eyes, because dazzling light. And so here are some other examples of chemical reactions, and then we proceed further. So some other examples of chemical reactions. Examples of chemical reactions. I think this lecture is very important. You can understand many topics you have understood this by this lecture. Very important this lecture was. Now, so some shoring of milk. Shoring of milk. Shoring of milk. This is the example. Shoring of milk. You see, students, in summer, now the summer is going on. In summer, if you left the milk, if you know the pasteurization process, I think you understood. If you learned in biology, I think. If not, then no understood. Pasteurization process, the milk is boiled 100 degrees centigrade for some time. I think 10 to 20 minutes approx. So, storing of milk. If you left milk, you don't take milk in refrigerator. You left the milk outside the atmosphere in summer, then you will feel that after some time the milk became spoiled. The taste of milk became sour. The taste of milk became spoiled. So this is the process of also a chemical reaction process. This is also a chemical reaction process. Why? Because if milk is spoiled once, then you can't get the fresh milk again. You can't get the right taste milk again. So this is a chemical reaction process. Next chemical reaction process, cooking of food. Cooking of food. Cooking of food. This is also a chemical reaction process. Cooking of food is also a chemical reaction process. Another chemical reactions is digestion of food. Digestion of food. Digestion of food. Digestion of food. And another, you may take ripening of fruits. Ripening of fruits. Ripening of fruits. So these are the examples of chemical reactions. You can understand well. So the time come to end this lecture because the time is not allowing to proceed this lecture now, and you understood these things very well. In this lecture we understand very important topics like physical changes, like chemical changes, like chemical reactions, like chemical equations, what are the reactants, what are the products. So okay students, now finish this class. Thank you students.